Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Edward White and I'm a creative entrepreneur who makes videos around building my businesses and productivity. I want to start this video by saying I've set myself a goal that if I get 1,000 subscribers, I will buy myself a Sony a7S Mark III. So if you could help me out, that would mean so much, and subscribe below. I would really appreciate it. And now let's get into the video. So the term comes from film's heyday when editors would use two rolls of clips, A-roll and B-roll, and they would use these to create transitions between the shots. B-roll tends to be used to show the audience another end of the story. So the A-roll will tend to be talked over, and then the B-roll will be added over the top of the A-roll, so the sound will be added. You normally see it with talking headshots or stuff like this for YouTube, which I'll break down in a minute. But yeah, that's where it comes from, that's why it's used, and it's a perfect way to build story, show your audience what you're actually talking about, and then also to hide messy A-roll. Point number one is traditional B-roll. Now this is where you will have A-roll of someone talking, maybe it's a sit down talking shot or an interview style shot or a talking to camera shot like I'm doing now. And then over the top of it, you'll have people talking about the subject matter that they're going to talk about. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about making coffee. I'm going to do it down for the 3 different types of B-roll. So I'm going to talk about how I make the coffee, the why I make the coffee, and hopefully the B-roll should match up with what I'm talking about. So in the morning I like to wake up and I enjoy a fresh cup of coffee. I tend to drink about 3 a day, and that's my limit. I never drink coffee after 1 o'clock because I find that it messes with my head too much. But yeah, so hopefully, if I've edited this right, you've seen the examples of me talking about the coffee, added with the B-roll footage of the coffee, so then it makes a nice cohesive sort of storyline. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it's clear to you. I mean, you can watch loads and loads of videos on YouTube, they will show you this. And it's a really easy way to tell the story to your viewer without taking away from the A-roll that you're talking about. How do you get this kind of shot? Firstly, you want to start with the subject. What are you talking about? I tend to find that I shoot my A-roll first, then edit it, then I will add B-roll onto the top, because I find that if I try to plan the B-roll too much, it just looks a bit shit, or I end up spending too much time recording it and editing it when I don't really need it or use it. So I find that if I edit the A-roll, I can see where the B-roll will need to be fitted in, and then I can film the B-roll quicker, get just what I need, and add it into the shot. So I tend to find that shooting on a tripod, keeping a still shot, yeah, unless you know someone who can shoot video or someone who has a stabilizer that can keep it nice and still, then I would say try and just do this yourself. Try and do it with a tripod, set the shot up, set it up nicely, and yeah, like I showed in the earlier example, do what you are talking about. Don't try and plan it too much. Add it in afterwards and then see how it works. I'm not going to go over camera specifics because you will find loads of videos on YouTube specific for your camera. I tend to shoot B-roll in a higher frame rate so that I can slow it down and have slow motion if I need to, but then I'll tend to shoot A-roll in a 1/50 frame rate shutter speed, so that yeah, it just looks nice and smooth. But the second type of B-roll that I want to talk about is this storytelling B-roll. This is something that I've seen a lot more popular in YouTube videos nowadays, and people are making videos around their life. They're doing it primarily as B-roll and then talking over either into a mic or into a camera, but you never see the person talking. It's always just B-roll. I quite like this, and I think it tells quite an effective story. So I'm going to give you an example really quickly now. Hope you enjoy it. I don't tend to do this style, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I might do it more. Let me know. This is when I jump out of bed, ready to start the day. I get out of bed, jump in the shower, grab my Atlife hat, turn the coffee machine on. I love the fresh grind that the coffee machine produces. It's like that little cup of help me in the morning. Almost that ritual. And it just really helps me set the day right, ready for work. so I can get on with a super duper productive day. So that was a storytelling B-roll. It shows you how I've gone from my morning routine up into making coffee to reading a book and then going out throughout my day and sort of how it looks like. I kind of like this style. It takes a little bit more to edit in the sense that you need to plan what shots you're going to do. You need to know what you're going to be talking about to then have the shots to talk about. You can, I would say, shoot this first, then go over and talk about it. So it's like the opposite way of the traditional B-roll in the sense that you record the video first, knowing what you're going to shoot. So you literally sketch it out, doing a storyboard. You storyboard all your ideas of, I want to talk about making a coffee, I want to talk about getting up in the morning, I want to talk about that sort of thing, to effectively tell a story through imagery. And yeah, this is a little bit harder to do. You can get some really creative, cool ideas, and you can get really creative with the sort of transitions and stuff. So it's not as stationary as the traditional B-roll, but then you're putting in more sort of effort and you're telling a story more. That's the difference between traditional and the storytelling B-roll, is the sense that you're actually telling a story through the images, whereas the traditional B-roll is to support the story. Hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. Now, on to my third point. Number 3 is epic B-roll. I love epic B-roll, and it's only something that I came across in 2019, I want to say. I've not done it too much. I've primarily done it for my clients. I think it looks epic, and yeah, in the name, epic B-roll. Takes the likes of Daniel Schiffer and what's his name? The London guy. Oh no! If you know it, Matthew, I don't know, he's like, alright mate, like that. He always talks like that. I don't know. If you know who I'm talking about, please let me know. And if the impression was good, please let me know. James Matthews, that was it. Yeah, James Matthews. I hope you like that. I'm sorry, James, if you watch this video. I'm sure you won't, but yeah, if you do, then I apologise. But go and check out their styles. They're perfect. I'll link some videos below because I really do like their styles, and I think it's a new way to tell an epic story. Now, I'm going to give you an example of one of mine, keeping on the subject of coffee, because I think this video is about coffee B-roll. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. So I've done that one for my client, Rave Coffee, talking about their new pods that they're doing and stuff like that, and I thought this would be quite a cool way to show the story. In this one, I would say don't plan it as much. I'm going to make a whole video on this, so please don't worry. But I would say don't plan it as much. Plan what the process, so what is the process of making an espresso coffee? That's the process. I needed to know. Oh yeah, you open a bag, you get the coffee pod, pop it in, shut it down, things like that. You don't need to know like what shots you're going to do, because I think primarily do this handheld, because then you can get a nice motion and it looks really, really sexy. I wouldn't say this would be that useful for YouTube videos, but I do think there is some times when you can do it, and I do think it looks effective. A lot of hard work though, primarily more work in the edit than in the shoot, in the sense of you're going to have faster and slower times, you're going to add sound design, you're going to do different kind of shots, you're going to do different kind of motions, and it's all going to come together in the edit. So think about when you're doing it, it's like, oh, how does this shot, so say I've got the camera and you're going around and you drop it into the pod, so it's like the shot is following the hand moving the pod, so it's like the camera, boom, and then the pod drops, so it's maybe like following it down. I'm gonna do a whole video on this, so please don't worry. Subscribe if you want to find out when that video goes live. It would be there, wouldn't it? So that's my third one. If you got this far, I truly do appreciate you watching it, and yeah, please let me know in the comments what style of B-roll you think works best for you? Let me know in the comments. I would really, really appreciate it. And don't forget about the 1,000 subscribers, and if you could help me out, that would mean so much. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Have a great, great day. I made a video the other day about how to do an e-commerce photography site. I break down Lightroom and everything like that. So if you could go and check it out, that would mean so much. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.